Meme Wars.
Meme Wars.
So is this like your Friday show? I guess.
Yeah, it is. Yes, correct. Although I forgot to publish it last week, so it aired on Tuesday. It was just sitting there done. And Odie's like, why didn't Meme Wars publish? And I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, oh, you just didn't hit the button.
Oh, you're just an idiot. Yeah, that makes sense.
It went out live, but it didn't go to the podcast feed for all our audio listeners out there. High level commentary.
Yeah. Well, if people were subscribed on Rumble, they would have got it. Getting big numbers on Rumble to get over there.
That's right.
You know what? Rumble annoys me because I want to use it more, but their algorithms suck. Why can't they just steal YouTube? Like whenever I go on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. Yup, I want to watch this. Yup.
Yeah.
They have like 10 videos right there that I want to watch. At Rumble,
like, do you want to learn? Do you want to learn Hindi? Like, no. I'm watching political programs.
I'll like go to a person's channel and I'll click follow, and it doesn't follow it. Like,
yeah.
What? Come on, Rumble, get your shit together.
Yeah,
I don't know why. You know, I keep thinking like I don't know why Elon Musk hasn't created a YouTube-like feature for Twitter yet.
I'll tell you, because he's trying to make Twitter into that. Literally.
Yeah. That's exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's trying to attract. I'm sure eventually they'll come out with like a podcast distribution piece to Twitter, because that's really all that's missing is the back end. Because I mean, Tucker gets more views on Twitter, way more than he did ever with his Fox show.
Oh yeah, or on YouTube. I mean, our engagement here. I'm trying to think if we get higher engagement with people watching live on Twitter or YouTube or what. But I mean, yeah, live streaming here, we have probably more people watching than we would otherwise. So anyway, before we talk about this LP drama, I need to talk about the deprogramming shit that you guys aren't aware of yet. Let me play this.
I just saw the headline. Yeah, what a fucking fun.
Yeah, this fucking piece of human garbage.
Very strong partisans in both parties in the past. And we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil action.
Get to the deprogramming part.
And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen.
There you go. Why is this still playing? I don't know why it was playing through the speakers, not my earphones. A formal deprogramming. What else? What other interpretation can there be other than forced concentration camp deprogramming of people like the Chinese do with the Uyghurs?
Is she saying the quiet part out loud, or
Rico, you don't show your Chinese bias. Just because you're putting your penis into a Chinese vagina once in a while doesn't mean you have to defend their concentration camps. Or do you? Maybe
it's the vagina the other way. Is that true?
Did you sign that? Did you sign the contract?
Willingly. I'm Travis Kelce of the CCP.
Every time Rico comes in his Chinese girlfriend, he has to go, Uyghurs.
Also true. It's like, have you seen the contract? There was an NDA.
It's written on a very odd form of paper that almost feels like the skin of somebody that's been in a concentration camp and then dried out. It's strange.
Hillary Clinton is fucking amazing. And so is the press that allows her to say this shit without any extremism of the Republican Party. Mm. What about, how do you have any credibility left?
Yeah. How about
what about the Democrat Party pushing to castrate children?
Exactly.
Promoting it.
Trans activists literally attacking women, Black Lives Matter riots, destroying billions of dollars in business and attacking old people outside of their, stores and hitting them with 2x4s. Let's not forget about the Antifa, which is the most extreme left-wing militants that nobody seems to want to crack down on at all. But no, MAGAs, very.
There's a constitutional amendment proposal in Ohio that's going to be voted on in November that would allow abortion to 9 months.
That's horrible.
That's not extreme.
Yeah.
Fucking people.
Ohio is supposed to be a conservative state, apparently.
The thing is, it is, but the abortion lobby is so fucking well funded and just mobilized. I bet it passes just because people like they'll just color kind of shade what it actually is and say, well, we're protecting women's health and we're protecting the sanctity of, like, they just use bullshit, like the same as gender affirming cares. They just use complete bullshit. And then people are like, oh, that makes sense. And they don't read the proposal and they're just duped by the language. So it'll probably pass. And then people will be like, wait a minute, what? But such is life in the United States.
Maybe we should start making the point that half the babies killed are female babies. So, I mean, that's not good for women's health. For the
They'll say, how do you know what they identified as? Did they tell you?
Well, Planned Parenthood is now doing gender affirming care. They're now giving out hormone blockers, and it's crazy. I mean, this whole thing is coming full circle.
That makes perfect sense, Odie, because Planned Parenthood's like, all right, we couldn't block this kid from getting out of the womb, but we're going to block him from growing up, right? That's how it all makes sense that they're coming for the children one way or the other.
They gotta stop the having of children somewhere. If you can't stop it before they're born, then after they're born, just cut off their dick.
Cut off their dicks, chemically castrate them, never allow them to reach puberty. Good
So,
job, Planned Parenthood.
In 40 years, does that mean there won't be any liberals left?
I mean, that's the theory, but it won't actually work. There's too much conversion. There's too much programming, some would say.
Of course, they never die. Like Chuck Schumer will still be Senate Majority Leader in 2080. So
he's already made of nanobots. We just don't know it. Oh, I was going to say the thing that was pissing me off. So I tweeted from the LP account. Oh God, of course my Twitter goes basically saying that Hillary. I was like, as evil as Hillary Clinton is, I was like, she's half right. And that we need to, it's not just half America that needs to be deprogrammed. All of it needs to be deprogrammed away from a two-party duopoly and for, people like Hillary Clinton and others like her who are masochists. And I had like 4 different people say, I don't think you mean masochist. I think you mean sadist. Or someone else like, no, dickhead. I mean masochist. Look up what the fucking meaning of the word masochist is. It's someone that derives sexual pleasure from inflicting pain. Okay? I'm 100% on board with calling her that. Or finds pleasure in inflicting something that is tedious. Also Hillary Clinton in everything she does. Masochist is exactly what I meant to tweet out. And I have to not respond to people because it just,
Did you wait? You tweeted that from the official LP account?
Yes.
How do they feel about you calling people dipshits on Twitter?
I don't call people dipshits on Twitter. I didn't respond to people saying I use
this is internal monologue. It's not.
Yeah, this is my internal monologue. This is my internal battle.
You have a internal monologue. I've never known you to have one.
Well, usually it's actually spoken out loud, but I'm not tweeting it.
I wish I was one of those people without an internal monologue. It's got to be a beautiful way to go through life.
Like Jay and the Jay and Silent Bob, where he's typing out the email. He's like, I'll make you eat your shit and shit it out. And you're like talking as you're typing.
It's like yelling at somebody with the windows closed in the car. That's what I equate it to. You fucking idiot!
I did that a couple of weeks ago. This old woman at the gym parking lot was walking at like the most absurd diagonal to her car.
Yeah, to take as long as some shithead today did that, crossing the street during a green light. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way.
Exactly. I did that too. And it took her like 3 minutes to cross a very narrow parking lot when she could have just gone to the other side. I'm like, fucking move it or something. And she like turned around and stared at me. I'm like, she's like 80. I'm like, there's no way she heard me. Could she have? I didn't really care. And then I parked my car and she's standing at her car as I'm walking to the door. She's staring at me. So I stare back at her while I'm walking, waiting to see if she says something. I'm like, should I feel bad about this? You were being absurd.
I would have loved it if she was like, enjoy your workout, you little faggot. You're like, whoa, lady, you can't say that anymore.
I do wonder if some people just have like exceptional hearing. I had something similar happen. Nicole and I were driving down our street. We just left our house, so we're pretty close to our house. So we knew the people walking down the street. And there's a guy walking in khaki pants. And I say, like, not loud, but I say, why would you ever go for a walk in khaki pants? Like, just it doesn't make any sense. As soon as I say it, the guy whips his head around and looks right at me. I'm like, oh my God, did he hear me say that?
You know what? What pisses me off the most, when you see people working out in jeans.
So weird.
Yeah, that makes me.
What are you doing?
Angry? That makes me angry when I see that.
Why would you? Why? It's not comfortable. They're not built for that. This isn't a Wrangler commercial. You're not.
You're not getting a good. If you're going to the gym in jeans, you're not going to get a good workout. So just stay home.
No.
What's the fucking point?
Exactly. Put on some shorts. Put on something you're
going to do some squats.
You want to be sweating in these jeans? Your jeans must stink and reek.
Chafe your legs.
Yeah. See that? Joe Hanush is watching on Facebook. I knew you'd be back, you son of a bitch. He was saying he regretted clicking last time. Look who comes crawling back. That's right.
I think he was back the next week, too. He's our new #1 fan. Hanush. But Joe's bringing up the LP. We were going to talk a little LP drama. We got the stuff going on in New Hampshire with the Free State Project kicking out. I think kicking out's the right term.
They ousted Jeremy Kaufman, who just, I don't know, man. He's grown that a lot, and I think that's just an ongoing battle. Like, I was actually talking with him a little bit, or texting with him a little bit about it. But it's like he's going to continue to help support them. But yeah, it's just like the fucking drama. The way they go about this shit is also oftentimes like what's so aggravating, because it always seems like it's sneaky kind of backdoor shit a lot of the time and not really out in the open. It's not really anybody having a real dialogue about anything. It's just kind of people being weaselly is the way it comes across to me a lot of the times, and how these politics work, which is just how all politics work. But
well, I just wonder. I mean, the Free State's kind of different, but the other thing going on is with the presidential candidates. You got some animosity between Josh Smith and the Mises Caucus, and the Mises Caucus is putting Rechtenwald up. They're I guess endorsing him. I think so. I think
that's Dave Smith has endorsed Rechtenwald now.
Yeah, so Dave Smith, I guess, speaks for the Mises Caucus, essentially. But it's like everything is like out in the open. Like all of the people like arguing with each other. Seems like the Democrats and Republicans, I'm sure they argue like a lot behind the scenes, like about things like this, but you don't really see a ton of it. Of course you do. Like on the debate stage, you get Chris Christie hating Donald Trump and stuff like that, but that's normal.
This week, Odie, what are you talking about? Republicans, the Democrats, they're all, I think they have to basically bow down to get elected, because they're all 100% in unity. So whoever giving their marching orders demands complete obedience, and they get it. Which is I should say
with Republicans, there's like different segments. Like your establishment Republicans are similar to the Democrats, but yeah, you do have the Trumpers and the Matt Gaetz and.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more independent thought, more than on the Democratic side, at least for the Republicans. And like we were saying, they lockstep it, because they're sheep. They're ideological sheep. They're authoritarians who are also built to take orders, that's why they always want to control everything, because they are built to be fucking automatons. So of course they're in lockstep, and they're happy to take orders, and they're happy to advocate to somebody else, even the more extreme ones.
It is pretty remarkable, though, how there's such unanimity on the Democrat side, because like you used to get debates and they talk like, oh, the Hillary Clinton's like, oh, the MAGA extremists. Like, don't you think it's concerning that no one in your party has a dissenting voice on anything?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Even Bernie Sanders is fucking supporting wars now. Like, what do you have to do to be a member of power in the Democratic Party to, just completely sell out everything you believe in and just, whatever you say.
Yeah. Crazy. Fuck a couple kids, get punched in the eye, and then go along with everything the Democrats say.
Yeah. And Joe says here, and I think he's right. He says, we see it more in the LP because we're in it. We're not in the the other parties. They have the same issues. West, what's his name? Cornel West left the Green Party, which I think he's going back to the Green Party now. I think I just heard that.
He's a joke. His whole campaign's a joke. Ridiculous.
But I think the thing that gets me, especially with libertarians, is it's the same arguments. Like, it's the same people. It's just, I'm just sick of it. Like, I just don't want to hear it anymore. And maybe that's a me thing. Probably is. It's probably just like the duration of time that I've been involved in watching this. I'm just tired of it. But other people who are maybe newer or maybe more energized by it, but I don't know. It's just
it definitely it hurts the party, man. I mean, for sure, some of this and like these, the loser brigade assholes who anything you post, and again, I see it because I'm in it now. Anything you post from the Libertarian account, no matter how good, no matter how principled, no matter how on point, these fuckers always whine and try to bitch about something, and they're just assholes. There's a lot of assholes. I think there's way more assholes in the party than in other ones, respectively. But I don't know if you saw the latest drama. Now I think Josh Smith is fighting with Heiss. So it's like
that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the second part with Rechtenwald being endorsed and I don't know. I mean, making all making everything public, sharing screenshots. I can't stand like when anybody does that. Not to single out Josh Smith there. So many people do that. Like, we had this private conversation. Let me share all the screenshots. Yeah,
it's horseshit.
Well, it was a freaking private conversation, man. Have some human decency. But
I told you guys before, like, a bunch of these, again, the loser brigade assholes, these fallouts from the Prague caucus, they shared, like the server, the libertarian email server is like open. But they're like, they share all these screenshots and they go to the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is hilarious, for some jerk off story about infighting in the Libertarian Party. And yet I told these people, I was like, what's not a good look? Sharing internal conversations. And they're like, it's not internal, it's a public story. I'm like, no, these are internal emails between people running the LNC. That doesn't mean they're for public consumption. That's what internal versus external communications are. You guys are being shitty snake weasel fuckers by taking out, and again, no context to this shit half the time, snippets to make other people look bad, and then go to a media outlet like the Southern Poverty Law Center. That shows us where you're aligned. If you're that pathetic to go to the most underhandedly shitty, politicized for the left organization that exists, it's just pathetic, man. But these people, it's like you'd think we'd be better than that. And yet, as you see, we're not. I am.
Yeah. Well, I debate that, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about some memes, and you can't have a meme wars without a little Britney. At least you should.
Oh, this was so crazy. Oh my God. Wait, did you see the one that somebody created where she's in the Matrix?
No, if you haven't, you can show that next. Dude, this is the Britney meme with the knives up, and it says, child speaking, I'm uncomfortable with my body. Their teacher, just the picture of Britney with the knives. It's classic.
Okay, got it. I got it. This is.
Are you frozen, Brian?
Am I?
Yes, you were.
Looks like you're still frozen, but you were able to share your screen very slowly. Got a spinning wheel. Listening audience, do not leave. We are
stupid ass computer. I don't know what this fucking piece of crap. All right, this is the Matrix of Britney. Let me make the screen big. Here she is. She's flipping her knives around. The guys are all shooting at her, and Britney's doing all her moves. She's cutting bullets in half. She's flipping through the air.
Did you see that she said they were fake knives? And like, there's points in the video, you watch it, she's like clanging them together. Obviously not fake knives.
I'm not even aware of anything about this. Why does she? Was she doing?
She's crazy. She posted a video on Instagram dancing around in bikini bottoms and a top, just freaking clanging knives together and doing like dance moves with two butcher's knives, like big kitchen knives. I don't know. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. But she's not good. Not good.
She is fucking bonkers. All right, I got one to share here. This ties into the Matt Gaetz ousting of McCarthy. I thought it was pretty funny. Jason Carrier sent this to me, longtime supporter. So you've got Matt Gaetz next to a big rhino, and it's made out of Photoshop to look like Kevin McCarthy.
That's
It's
awesome.
got a big rhino tusk on it, and Matt Gaetz has a big shit-eating grin holding a rifle. Pretty funny.
Did you see? So like when at the beginning of the week where Gates was threatening to bring up the motion, and Kevin McCarthy said, "Bring it on," and then it passed, and he replied, "Just did."
I mean, it's been very entertaining. I'll say that. They're saying Jim Jordan they want for speaker. I actually do like Jim Jordan.
Yeah,
he's good at grilling the Democrats. I think he'd be better than McCarthy for sure.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
You know, he has a little scandal. They tried to put a scandal. They tried to do this. There was an Ohio State sex scandal with the wrestling program along the same lines as what happened at Penn State. But it just never got any legs. But I wonder if they'll try to revive that, to try to take him out. But
I mean, everything and anything.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. I think he'll be better. I don't know how he stands on Ukraine, but
he's better, but he wants accountability, but he still hasn't said no to funding it. I was listening to a clip today and it kind of pissed me off because he's like, we shouldn't be funding it. We've got the border issues here, but he's like, I want accountability. I want to see what that money's been spent on and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not hearing a no. I'm not hearing a no.
Well, he probably voted for all of the previous funding. And did he ask to see what it's going to be spent on then? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So. But I think he voted for the oversight, which got voted down by both sides of the aisle, because they wanted to say, no, you got to show us where this fucking money's being spent and how, and like line item, where's it going? Was it received? And of course, the government voted that down. Our representatives voted that down, which is the most pathetic shit I've ever heard in my life.
I think it's going to be harder and harder for them to keep passing this stuff. Like there will probably be another one passed, maybe another one after that. I think it's going to dwindle because people are just getting fed up with that shit.
Well, if they notice into individual line item shit.
Conveniently, a couple of days ago, there was a bombing in Ukraine of a grocery store that killed 50 people and a child. Not saying I don't believe it. Who did it? I don't know. And also, it's interesting that they were able to comb through all the rubble and get a death count of 50 or so people in a day. And in Maui, they still don't know how many people or how many children died.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Crazy.
No people were interviewed. No parents of children were interviewed. You know, it's all very strange.
The whole thing in Maui is just so freaking weird. I don't know what the heck's going on there. But to change to a lighter subject, with the dress code changing in the Senate, a little more relaxation, and they're now allowing aging senators. You got old Chucky Schumer and old neck fat Mitch McConnell. In their hospital gowns here. And then way in the background, you can see old Bernie Sanders with his hospital robe on looking very socialist and angry.
I love it. I'm trying to find this one. Fuck, I can't find it. There's one that Robert Malone, I'm on his Substack, had that was just funny because I'm going to show you my next meme. And there was another one related to it, which I thought I had pulled up, but I lost it. So, of course, you know that Jamal Bowman had pulled the fire alarm and then said that supposedly he thought it was how you open the door to get out. Because, you do that all the time. You smash a big red fucking button that says fire alarm and it opens the door. So he's an idiot. But it has AOC.
Not an idiot. He's a fucking liar.
Well, he's a liar, yeah. He's
a bad liar. One of the worst liars I've ever seen in my life. Can you not think of a better lie?
But I love this tying into, of course, January 6th, where AOC said that she was sure she was going to die. It's got her, and she goes, I heard the fire alarm, and I was sure I was going to die. Let me see if I can find Jamal Bowman yelling at a fire.
I'll put my next one up while you're looking for that. This is a good one here. Where the fuck?
Typical Odie.
StreamYard keeps changing shit, and it's so annoying. Once you figure it out to share with audio one time, then they change it. So this is when your vaccinated friends start liking your conspiratorial posts. There's no sound here, I don't think. You just got to watch the person's face. So you got to come watch the video.
All right.
I think it's Hunter Biden's face.
That's the guy from The Watchmen who played the Joker in The Watchmen, or not the Joker, the comedian in The Watchmen. He also was in Walking Dead as like the guy with the big spiky bat. He's been.
It's hard because it's only zoomed in on.
Not James Earl Jones. He's got one of those three word names.
James Earl Jones.
It's not. It's not James Earl Jones, but he's got a three.
Let's eliminate him. We know it's not James Earl Jones.
Let's check out everybody we know it isn't. All right. It's
not, there was no.
It's not The Rock. Okay.
It's not Matthew Broderick.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
It's not him.
James Earl Ray. Martin Luther
Shia
King.
LaBeouf. And that's not
Kevin
Shia
Costner.
LaBeouf. All right. What are you saying, Rico?
Well, you'll be happy to know there was no vaccine mandates ever. So.
Oh yeah. Clearly, no vaccine mandates ever existed. Nobody was coerced.
How can you not just run campaign ad after campaign ad of the fucking bullshit? Like, yes, these people fired you. Remember all the people who got fired from the military?
Yep. The nurses that got laid off.
The police, the firemen.
The airline pilots. Why all the fucking flights are fucked up? The lack of airline pilots right now. Don't forget that. All the people that we can't get a goddamn hamburger right now because there's nobody working. All right, there's the Jamal Bowman thing. They cut out Jamal Bowman speaking, and he's yelling at a red fire extinguisher that says, "Is this a drinking fountain?"
Oh god.
I love it. It's good stuff.
I can't find it, but there was another hilarious one where it's like I don't think it was Far Side, but it was like that format where it's got a kid. It says like door locked, and he's up at the door, and instead of trying to get in the door, he's pulling the fire alarm.
That's good. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Sounds like a no. All right. Well, good memeing, everybody. Good memeing today. Well done. Everybody pat yourselves on the ass when you get out of your chairs.
See you next week. Share the show.
Share